Well, hello, everybody. Don't be frightened. It's Grampa Scott, and I'm here today to read you another story and have a great adventure in doing it. Can you see what I'm wearing today? Grandpa Scott's got on some goggles and some snorkeling equipment so that I can swim in the water and breathe up through the top of this tube out of the top of the water. And then I've got flippers for my feet to help me swim better and faster like a fish would. But I can't read you the story without taking off this mask. Our story is right here. So let Grandpa take off his mask. And I'm going to put on my hat, my bright hat that Grandma Carol likes me to wear, because then she can find me wherever I'm at the beach, by the water, making sandcastles and just having fun. So I'm going to slip on my glasses and we're going to look at a story today. It is called Glow in the Dark Under the Sea. It's going to be just like what Grandpa Scott was wearing his snorkeling gear so I could swim in the water and see all kinds of amazing things. Let's see what happens. Judy and Ben left the seaplane and looked around them for Aunt Vi. They were going to spend the whole day with Aunt Vi and Uncle Ted in their underwater lab, the Shell Home. Aunt Vi was waiting for them with the mini submarine. They all got in and descended to the ocean floor. Wow! They flew in a seaplane and then into a submarine. Look at that, there's even a dolphin jumping already in the water. Excited to see what this adventure will bring. Welcome aboard, called Uncle Ted when they arrived at the Shell House. Uncle Ted was fixing a lunch in the galley. Welcome aboard, echoed Pierre, the big green parrot. Can you see Pierre the parrot? After a tasty meal of hamburgers and seaweed salad, woo! Seaweed salad! Judy and Ben fed cookie crumbs to Peter, the pet pilot fish. Judy laughed. He likes people food, she said. Pilot fish do, said Aunt Vi. Sometimes they follow ships just to get food scraps. Oh, didn't know that. Wow, there they are in the submarine under the water. Uncle Ted took Judy and Ben underwater sightseeing in the mini sub. They visited a coral reef. A hungry parrotfish was chewing off chunks of coral, while inside the reef, nighttime fish slept. A small clownfish had the softest bed, snoozing in the velvety petals of seaweed. Huh! 3 young angelfish were eating tiny parasites off the back of a surgeonfish. Wow, they even take care of each other down there, don't they? Further down, Ben and Judy met some odd bottom dwellers. A sea baron walked by using its large fin as feet. As the children watched, a fluke quickly changed color to match its background. This camouflage completely fooled the barn door skate chasing it. A larger fish swam right over the fluke. Suddenly, a torpedo ray bumped into the side of the sub. Uncle Ted told them the 2 electric cells in the head were powerful enough to stun a person. I wouldn't like that, would you? Soon they came to the wreck of a sailing ship. Uncle Ted had explored in his scuba gear. He might have been wearing goggles just like Grandpa Scott. We hope that it was Captain Kidd's pirate ship, he said. Did you find any treasure? Asked Ben. No treasure, said Uncle Ted, just empty molasses kegs. Then suddenly he pointed. Look, a stowaway. An octopus had uncoiled itself from a keg, looking for a crab dinner. Can you see him down here coming out? As Judy peered into the shadows of the wreck, she saw mysterious flickering lights. It looks as if there are ghosts in there, she said. Uncle Ted showed Judy that her ghostly lights came from tiny lanternfish whose sides glowed in the dark when they swam. Wow, that must have been amazing to see something like that, almost like they have little flashlights on them. Suddenly, swack! Something hit the rear of the plexiglass window with a powerful blow. The submarine lurched violently. Whoa! There, outside the window, waved the mighty tail of a 15-foot thrasher shark. The shark was annoyed to find the sub between it and its fish dinner. Oh my! Uncle Ted quickly steered away from the 800-pound shark and brought the sub safely back to the shell house. I hope the window isn't cracked, said Uncle Ted, looking worried. I have to make sure it's watertight or we can't use the sub. That would be terrible. While Uncle Ted examined the window, Aunt Vi introduced Judy and Ben to the sea creatures in the shell house aquarium. Can you see any that you recognize? Then Aunt Vi showed Judy and Ben how to get information of all the different underwater creatures from the computer. From his perch above them, Pierre repeated after her. Sea star, seahorse, butterfly fish. Aunt Vi made computer printouts for Judy and Ben to take home with them. That was really nice, wasn't it? Judy and Ben were almost disappointed to hear the sub was okay, and Aunt Vi could take them to the 5 o'clock seaplane. It would have been fun to stay overnight in the shell house. Would you like to do that? Since there wasn't enough room in the sub, Uncle Ted came up in his wetsuit and scuba gear. Can you see Uncle Ted's mask? Kind of looks like Grampa Scott's. I bet this is the first underwater pet carrier you've ever seen, Uncle Ted said with a laugh as he unsnapped the lid of a big pressure cooker. Welcome aboard, piped a familiar voice, and out hopped Pierre. He was going to the vet to have his claws and beak trimmed. I wonder if he was going to get his tail feathers tinted too. There was time for a quick swim. Lots of curious angelfish and butterfly fish came to see Judy and Ben. Judy and Ben are wearing the same type of goggles and snorkel and flippers just like Grampa Scott has. That's really amazing. At the sound of the plane's engine, Judy and Ben swam up to the dock for the flight home. What a wonderful visit that had been. Back at home, Judy and Ben looked at their aquarium. In it were many of the sea creatures they had seen at the shell house. Now they could identify them all. That night, Judy and Ben fell asleep in the soft glow of the aquarium's light to dream of more wonderful adventures under the sea. Look at some of those creatures that they had seen. Can you point to them? Where's the butterfly fish? Or the torpedo ray? How about the lanternfish? I bet you can find the thrasher shark. And how about a starfish? What about an octopus? Can you find a seahorse? Oh, there's a lot of them there. I bet this was a very favorite adventure of yours, just like it was Grampa Scott's. So that's the story Under the Sea. But you know that even though the story's done, we're not done, because now's the time to go outside and have some fun, because this story is all done.